Hello and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, where today it's a bit of a sour update, I guess you can say, and a very overdue video. I am very disappointed in OBS. So for those of you that don't know, which is pretty much everyone, I use OBS to record on my computer because, you know, it's just what I use, and I've never had a problem with it. You know, not that I've recorded much with it. I've only done these Jurassic World Evolution 2 videos with it, and the one live stream I did, or two live streams actually, but I've never had a problem with OBS. OBS has always worked fine. Now for some reason it's not wanting to work fine anymore. Also, something I forgot to say, you're gonna notice something's off if you watch the last one, but if you haven't watched the last one, you shouldn't be here and you should be watching the last speed build that I did. So you can go do that now while we chat about this. But anyway, as you can see, I've gone ahead a bit, but that's not because I didn't record it because I wanted to just push ahead. No, it's because OBS just didn't want to work. I've tried so many things. I've finished the park now thinking I fixed OBS when in actuality I didn't. So the final recording I had too also failed, and I'll explain what I mean by failed in a bit. So now I have a completed park and only 2 speed builds of it, which it's not a lot. So I've finished the entire park. So what I'm doing with this video pretty much is letting it serve as like an update and kind of what the future's gonna look like with this crappy OBS. Apparently I've tried fixing so many things and it works sometimes, other times it just sucks. So it's really put me off recording on my computer. I mean, I'm still gonna make videos and stuff, but like long videos that take a lot of time, it's really put me off that. Anyway, why is it failing? What's wrong with it? What's up? So pretty much I've tried searching it up. There's no really clear answer on how to fix this, so I've just been doing my own problem solving. But what happens is I record, everything looks great, you know, I'm not getting any frame drops in my game or anything, you know, everything's working the same. I haven't changed any settings, say like increasing the quality of my videos or the frame rate at which they're at. But for some reason, once I like go back and check the recording, it will like, the audio records perfectly, that records fine, but for some reason the actual video is really like, I don't know, choppy is the word. I don't know if that's the right word, but basically what happens is when I record, it'll like freeze pretty much. So it will, like, the first 10 seconds it runs fine, and then all of a sudden it will like stutter a bit and stop, and then, you know, maybe 30 seconds later it'll jump to another frame and it'll freeze there a bit, and then a minute later it'll jump to a different frame and stay frozen there for a bit. So it's really annoying and really frustrating. I have no clue why it's doing it. It's like I said, it's putting me off recording because I don't want to spend, you know, an hour making a video pretty much. Not that I'm like talking through these speed builds, but you know, I don't want to make an hour to have it just not record properly, you know. And if I've started a series like I've done here with the speed build series, and then I can't finish it properly because OBS has just decided to not work, it's really just, it's left a sour taste in my mouth. But what I'm gonna have to find some sort of compromise, because I enjoy making videos and I like making videos on Jurassic World Evolution. But if OBS is gonna be like this, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I want to keep doing what I'm doing now. So for the time being, until I'm 100% confident that OBS is going to work properly, what I'm probably gonna do is just make shorter videos. Now in this video, I'm not gonna give a tour. I'm not gonna go back and go into the actual game and give you a tour of what I built. I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna make a separate video for that, where I do a combination of both the tour like you see in the Grand Canyon Dinosaur Park tour, and a verbal tour too. So, you know, me showing you what I've done, what my thinking behind it was, all of that. So what I kind of wanted it to be in the first place, but now without these speed builds. I will try in the future to have these speed builds work. If I can create multiple episodes in a row where the recording does actually work, then those speed builds will be, I'll put them up. But if it's just not going to work, I'm going to try and just stick to shorter videos because it seems to do okay with them. So, you know, like pretty much 20 minutes and under, it's fine. After it gets past that, it starts to do that weird thing. And yeah, like I said, it worked perfectly before, you know, this happened. It's not like I changed any settings. I've always had the frame rate set to 60 FPS. I've always had it set to 1080p. I've not changed any of the graphic settings in my game. Yeah, I don't know why it's happening, but it is. Anyway, enough about OBS and the recording. I wanted to give another update. I guess it's kind of to do with that, but because I can't really get a quiet place to record at the moment, plus the OBS recording's failing, what I'm doing now is I'm just gonna do challenge mode off camera. I might do a live stream here or there. I've already started Germany, but I'm just gonna do it off camera, but I'll still make the kind of guides like I did for Canada. So pretty much how to beat it on Jurassic difficulty to help those that might need a bit of a head start because they're either new to the game or they're just struggling a bit on that certain map. I know I struggled a lot on Canada and there wasn't really a lot of good advice out there, so I thought once I did know how to beat it and once I found out how to, I should probably share what I learned so everyone else could, you know, kind of figure it out. But anyway, I'm going to talk about the park for a bit now. So what I'm building now is the testing area. I would do a more in-depth kind of talk when it comes to actually, you know, doing the verbal tour. But what I'm doing here is I'm building what is the testing area of this research facility. So that first area, like I said, was for capture and containment of dinosaurs that were running wild on Isla Sorna, so you know, the Spinosaurus, and I've also got T-Rex, Pteranodon, Pachycephalosaurus, Velociraptor, and various herbivores. So that area honestly turned out nice. I wish OBS worked so I could have showed that to you, but it is what it is, really. I can't, you know, complaining's not gonna fix it, so I've just gotta roll with the punches pretty much. But yeah, so this is the testing area, like I keep saying. So the first kind of part of it, the first sector, I guess you can say, is the confined space testing. So what I'm doing there is I'm putting dinosaurs in kind of enclosures that are way too small for them. So I've got a Dreadnoughtus in a small enclosure, Triceratops in a absolutely tiny enclosure, and a Ceratosaurus in a small enclosure. Next to them I have a Tylosaurus, so my thinking behind that was kind of a reference to Jurassic Park, the game, where they had the Jurassic Park Tylosaurus, and it was like as if they went back and they got that from Jurassic Park and are now using it for observations and research. So that's there as kind of one of those decisions, like, you know what, I'm gonna put this in just because I like how it looks. And then I've got, you know, some aquatic creatures here because I absolutely love the aquatics in this game. They're so awesome. I could just sit here for ages and just watch them just do their thing, whether that's swim around, you know, interact with each other or eat fish, anything. It's, yeah, they're just so awesome to look at. amazing. They're just amazing. I can't say anything else. But next to that, I have some some isolation testing. So I have a Proceratosaurus in a fairly large enclosure, but it's all by itself. And then I've also got a Muttaburrasaurus that is by itself. What I'm building now, what you're seeing at the moment, is like a raptor pack type thing. So this is where the velociraptors were bred, you know, Blue, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. This is kind of where they were bred, and this is where they're housing them before sending them off to Isla Nublar for Owen Grady to do the, you know, the obedience tests, I guess you can say, on them. So maybe this is where he filmed those initial videos where they were as like little babies. But yeah, also that kind of big enclosure adjacent to this velociraptor pen is what I was having as like a dinosaur fighting area. So if they wanted to test dinosaurs in a fight, they could breed them in the hatcheries there and let them have a go at each other, and whoever's the victor survives and gets to go on to the next fight. It's kind of like maybe they could also get some, you know, some really rich people to come in and maybe do some betting on it or something. But mainly it's for research and observations to see which dinosaurs are good at combat, and whether the more fights they're in, the better at combat they get, and maybe they can take on some dinosaurs that would usually be too tough for them to take on. So that was kind of my thinking behind it. I didn't put anything in there because I didn't really know what to put in there, and it'll also be a bit weird because I do have dinosaur fights turned off just so that there's no dominance being, you know, they're not trying to gain alpha or anything, and then I have to go ahead and trank them and send them off to the paleo medical facility to have them be healed and stuff, because that's not something I want to do in sandbox mode. I think something they need to add in the future, along with maybe infinite feeders, so I don't have to have a ranger station for my carnivores if I want them to actually eat, because, you know, I like the animations of some of them eating. So along with infinite feeders is no injuries, so similar to no disease, just dinosaurs don't get injuries. And I know that's like part of the game, kind of, so if they have a concussion, they have like reduced health and you know, stuff like that. But yeah, it's just very infuriating in sandbox, especially, to have to, you know, treat your dinosaurs. It's ridiculous, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I doubt Frontier's watching this, so I don't think they're really gonna listen to me on this one, but I'm sure plenty of others agree. One thing that I did want to mention is I want to get back into making the tier list videos. So my next one that I'm planning on doing is the like top 10. I'm gonna try and rank every dinosaur in the game. So I'm gonna start off with like the top 10 worst, maybe a very brief description of like the middle, however many there are, and then the top 10 best dinosaurs. So this isn't gonna be aquatics or flying reptiles, because I have my own video that ranks them. So yeah, what else? So what I'm building now, that other enclosure you just saw there, is going to be a cohabitation enclosure. So that's going to be for dinosaurs, like carnivores that can cohabitate, whether they will try and fight each other for dominance over the area, or whether they're just going to live peacefully, how they interact when it comes to feeding, just that sort of thing. And now this small enclosure here is a stress testing enclosure, was what I'm going to call it. It's going to, and also an exposure enclosure. I didn't mean that to rhyme. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Look at me go. But so basically what I put in there was a bunch of Gallimimus, and they have nowhere to kind of hide. So I didn't put any forest in there. I put just a bunch of ground leaf or ground fiber, whatever they ate. I put a bunch of that in there. I overcrowded it and I made it way too small. So not only is there overcrowding, but there's no space and they've got nowhere to hide from like the eyes of the scientists, and they're just very exposed to the elements. So yeah, I feel like that's probably one of our most cruel experiments kind of thing. What you're seeing now is, for some reason, a pteranodon started to die and my ranger team couldn't find a way to get to the aviary to perform a scan on it, and it had no like disease. It's like food and stuff was full, because I have dinosaurs can starve and dinosaurs can dehydrate turned off, and yet it still died somehow, which is really weird. I don't know what could have happened. And also, I don't know if it's just pteranodons in general, or if it's just the 2001 pteranodon, almost said 2003, the 2001 pteranodon that's bugged, because they don't have any audio. So it's really weird, because they just fly around and they don't even, you know, it's not just like the calls that they make or anything. Even, you know, flying around, you don't hear their wings flap. So it's a bit strange, and I think that's something that needs to be fixed sometime soon. But we're coming to the end of this kind of speed build. In this bit, I'm pretty much just doing small decorations of the enclosure, and I'll probably be putting in, this is where I put in the dinosaurs for this enclosure, and this is where I finish up the testing area, where I then move on to what is the final area, which I have the Indominus Rex and the Indoraptor, and I'm really happy with how that area turned out. I'll probably explain more about how it works in the official tour that comes out in a couple days probably when I record it. But yeah, something to look forward to. I'm gonna sign off here because there's not a lot left. So thank you all so much for watching. I do really hope you enjoy, and I'm sorry for the lack of other episodes, but it's one of those things, unfortunately, is out of my control, and it's just how it is. So I guess I'll see ya in the next one. Ciao!